I noticed that as your family, and we've had Jen Chapin in a couple times here on WTJU and on my show, and Jen is your cousin.
That's right.
Daughter of Harry Chapin, and you are the daughters of Tom Chapin and Bonnie, and your other sister is the daughter of Wes Craven.
Yeah. Our mom sort of swung from horror maestro to children's singer.
Yeah,
Pied
that's
Piper.
right. Scared all the way to children's books.
Yeah. But Wes was actually an English professor when they were married, so maybe she scared him into his horror career. I'm not sure.
Yeah. And are you involved with World Hunger Year as part of the Chapin?
Well, it's now the name has been changed to Why Hunger, and we are. I mean, we're starting out on our careers, and we're kind of far away from it in terms of location, since it's based in New York. But we definitely we support them, and they're our charity of choice, and they do amazing work. And if anyone doesn't know about them, they should go to whyhunger.org or why.org. I think both of them will lead you to the site, and they're a really great organization of setting up people who need food with food banks that can help them find food.
Yeah, it's a great cause, and Jen was talking about it several times. We always like to have her fill us in on that, and I'm glad you did. In May, the whole damn family got together, the ones that were alive, and had that incredible gig. Can you tell us what it was like to all do it together like that, or how often do you get to do that?
Well, I've gone through phases of doing more or less of those concerts. Usually they're like a Why Hunger benefit or a benefit for a local food bank in whatever area. And we've done maybe like 10 over the course of the year, maybe more over the course of the years.
Not this year.
This year, I think that was the only one.
Yeah.
But it's really great. It's super fun. We all play really different kinds of music, and so when we get together, it's like a little variety show, and then we all sort of jam on songs together.
The only missing link now is that our grandfather, Jim Chapin, passed away. So he used to join us at those gigs, and for anyone listening, he was brought a different side of music to our family. He was the original musician in our family, and he was a jazz drummer. Kind of a pioneer as a teacher. He had a book that he wrote called Advanced Techniques for Jazz for the modern drummer. So he brought a lot of energy to those concerts as well, and kind of kept the styles sort of rolling around. So we never really knew what genre was going to come up next. It was kind of a lot of fun.
Were you children when Harry was having all his hits? Were you young, or were you not
we
there
weren't
yet?
born yet.
Ah. So you didn't have the curse of Taxi in your mind forever singing Taxi.
Well, I don't know if that's a curse or a gift.
I say that as I loved it. I was on a wrestling team in the Midwest, and the whole bus would start singing Taxi. We all knew it by heart.
Huh.
And it was this beautiful, beautiful song. And then he came out with the final, the reconciliation or the reprise song that told the rest
sequel,
of the story.
I believe it's called. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which was very interesting.
That one did not make it onto the radio, I don't think.
Oh,
maybe
I think it did. It just didn't, maybe
didn't
not
hit
as
the
hot.
charts as
Yeah.
high.
Which songs did you grow up with in your family?
In terms of Harry songs,
or just any around
so
the house,
many
or
different
what was
things.
happening?
We really liked, I think like most kids, but we really liked the Beatles and the Beach Boys, and Neil Young and the Eagles. We listened to a lot. I think maybe that's because we like to sing harmony from a young age. We drifted towards things that had a lot of harmony parts in them when we were little, and those were the kinds of things that we could find in our parents' record collection that they liked and we liked, and we listened to. We listened to a lot of Graceland, Paul Simon, Graceland, and Bonnie Raitt. I feel like that's what we had in my mom's car.
And Leonard Cohen and Bob Dylan, all the kind of stuff that the good stuff in your parents' record collection. Yeah.
Do you feel you have a special advantage at times, or is it a disadvantage in the sense that you want to strike out on your own? A lot of kids don't want to be what their parents are. They fight against that, but here you are now as musicians and meeting people like Paul Simon's kid. You just talked about singing Paul Simon songs, and now you're meeting Harper Simon and doing a gig with him, and you're the Chapin's daughters. And how does that work? What does that make? What does it feel like in the sense for your own identity, or using it or not using it?
Well, I think we see both sides of the coin, because it is really, it's amazing to have parents who understand what we're going through and are supportive and not being like, why don't you have a 401k? Where's your, I think we definitely have the most amazing support from our parents. But we also, see the side where people come once in a while. It doesn't happen that often. People come to our shows and they're like, you're not singing Cats in the Cradle? And, so that's, it's both, there are people that we fight expectations, and we also that's also a gift.
We also, I think you said a lot of don't want to do what their parents do, and I think we both struggled with that for a long time. We have pursued other things as well as music, and it was really important for us to move cross country to LA and have a chance to strike out on our own as musicians in a place where people didn't know our family. They didn't necessarily have expectations. So we were kind of anonymous, and we began our career out there just as a way of kind of like getting into a scene that had no preconceptions about who we were, and kind of as strangers to the place. So we got involved with a whole new network of people, and only after, playing quite a few shows out on the West Coast did we finally go back to New York and kind of like bring it home and show people in our family what we had been doing, because it kind of needed that distance to grow, I think.
You're listening to Lily and Abigail Chapin, the Chapin Sisters, here on WTJU. This is Nowhere Near with Dominic, and I'm Aer Stephen, standing in a little bit here. And it's such a pleasure to have you here. Your incredible harmonies, these sister voices, they're haunting. It's like a noir of a graveyard noir at times. But you will sing about stuff that is so. When you deliver it, it doesn't sound near as sad or as biting as perhaps the lyric is. Is it there's a certain sardonicness or satire to it? Is that something that I'm just hearing, or is it something that's done purposely?
I think it's kind of, I don't know if it's sarcasm exactly, but it's definitely, we are aware of kind of how dark people's emotions can get, and how our own emotions can, ride that line. But then that's also kind of funny. It's also like, it's just, life it's all of those things at the same time.
Can't take yourself too seriously.
You can't take yourself too seriously. And especially if we tend to write songs about pretty dark matter, and if we really took it that seriously, it would actually be laughable in a different way. So I think we try to see both sides of the coin on everything, like a beautiful, happy, upbeat melody with really sad lyrics, or a sad song that has just a hint of a nod to how ridiculous feeling that way could be.
Or even a really dark song that has like an exalted harmonic element to it, because in a way these emotions, when you express them in music, can become the opposite of sad. It can be very cathartic to sing about really dark emotions, and it can kind of be transformative. So I think for us that's part of what draws us to that subject matter. It's kind of really getting at the truth of something and distilling it down to that essence, and then kind of once you put a label on it, it loses its power in a way. So it's kind of fun to say these things that might not be expected.
Yeah, so do you guys want to play another song now, or we
Sure.
can talk a little bit more about your new record too, which we've been playing earlier today on the show? Or,
Well, why don't we play now, and then we can keep talking.
Yeah.